Good morning everyone and thanks for tuning in. Today we're making a very special item, tabbouleh, also known as the undisputed queen of all Arab salads. In the next few minutes I'll be sharing everything you need to know about it, so stay with me. What makes this type of salad stand out among all others is its very distinctive flavor. It has a very strong citrusy taste that feels like a slap on the face. Not only does it feel refreshing, but also goes very well with other savory items like grilled meat. Not only the taste of tabbouleh makes it so special, but unlike all the other types of common salads, it's not made of huge chunks of random vegetables. The ingredients of tabbouleh are finely chopped into very little pieces, which makes it fill the mouth in a very special, satisfying way. The word tabbouleh comes from the Semitic root tabala, which means to season or to spice. That's why in Arabic the word spice is tabel, in Aramaic is tabala. And that makes absolute sense, as the main ingredient of tabbouleh is parsley, which also reflects the dependence of ancient Arabs on edible herbs that grew on the mountains of Syria and Lebanon. Now let's check the ingredients of tabbouleh. For making 4 servings of tabbouleh, we're gonna need 3 bunches of parsley. The average weight of a parsley bunch is around 55 grams. We're gonna also need 1 bunch of fresh mint leaves. The average weight of that is around 80 grams. We're gonna also need 4 green onions and 1/2 of a yellow onion. We're gonna also use 500 grams of tomatoes. Make sure that they're large and hard. We're gonna also need 4 large tablespoons of fine bulgur. We're gonna also need 120 milliliters of fresh lemon juice and also 70 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna need a little bit of salt and also a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. And the last ingredient is optional. We're gonna need 2 to 3 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses. Pomegranate molasses is a kind of sauce prepared by boiling pomegranates with sugar. It adds a very special tangy but also sweet taste to anything you add it to. There are 2 tricky things in order to make the perfect tabbouleh. The first is that you need exceptionally fresh ingredients, and the second is chopping the ingredients very, very finely. Now let's start preparing our tabbouleh. The first step is to wash the ingredients thoroughly, but more importantly, you gotta let them to dry out entirely. We shouldn't find any water droplets on the parsley leaves or any other ingredient. After washing them well, we're gonna spread the kitchen towel and we're gonna let them there to dry for about an hour or 2. While we're waiting for our ingredients to dry, we're gonna prepare our lemon juice by squeezing the lemon, and we're gonna split the amount of 120 milliliters into 2 containers. The first container with the first 60 milliliters, we're gonna add the 4 large tablespoons of bulgur to it. Make sure it's fine bulgur, because that makes a world of difference. By the time we're done with chopping everything, the fine bulgur will absorb all the lemon and will have this very amazing taste. The first ingredient we're going to be preparing is the tomatoes, and we're going to start by slicing it into very thin slices. After that, we're going to remove the central part with all the seeds and liquid. Then we're going to chop it into very little cubes. Again, it's very important not to turn the tomatoes into a liquid or paste, as we need it to have this fresh, sharp look in the final serving bowl. After getting done chopping the tomatoes, we're going to put them in the fridge to cool down, as tabbouleh has to be served cool, not lukewarm and definitely not in room temperature. After we put the tomatoes in the fridge, we're going to check if the parsley dried out completely. We're going to start preparing it by cutting out the stems. After we detach the parsley stems, we're going to try to grab as much as possible of the leaves and start chopping the part that appears out of our hand a bit by bit. We're gonna do the same with the fresh mint leaves. We're gonna remove the stems and chop them the same way we did the parsley. Same size, same style. Now we can start preparing the green onions. And the first step would be to cut it in half horizontally by splitting the white part from the green part. After that, we can split the white part, the upper part, vertically in half as well. Then we're gonna put all the pieces together and start chopping it all together the same way we did with the parsley. We just have to make sure that all the pieces are chopped in the same fine size of each other ingredient. We're gonna do the same to the yellow onion. Once we're done chopping the yellow onions, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt to it and we're gonna stir them thoroughly. After that, we can combine the chopped parsley, green onions, yellow onions, and mint leaves. Then we're gonna sprinkle the freshly ground pepper on them. I precisely use 17 grinds of pepper on the top of the mix. After we're done sprinkling the freshly ground pepper on the green mix, we're gonna bring the tomato from the fridge and add it to the mix. After that, we can bring the bulgur that we soaked in the 60 milliliters of lemon juice and add it to the mix. As I said earlier in the ingredient section, we can optionally add 2 to 3 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses to the mix. Now that we have all the ingredients in the bowl, we can start stirring it, but make sure you stir it quite carefully without smashing any of the ingredients and turning it into a juice in the process. Now we have our dazzling tabbouleh bowl ready to be served in its shiny, mouth-watering colors. You can't imagine how nice that thing tastes. Please try it at home and let me know how it went with you in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope to see you very soon and more recipes to come.